The beast inside you is your soul, your spirit. And unfortunately, some people, they don't really acknowledge their spirit nor their soul. When we think of ourselves, we're gonna think that we are the best. That's probably like everyone's mindset now. I don't know where or how they just end up having an ego that suddenly just popped out of nowhere, like somehow. But your beast or your shadow is the person within you that you've never acknowledged. The things within you that you were never aware of. Something like you purposely pushed away, or you have no idea you even pushed in the first place. Like, for example, when you feel shameful, what is the first thing that comes in your mind? The first thing that comes in your mind when you're shameful is aggression and anger. You get angry. So you try to cope, you try to push the anger away. Not the anger, you try to push the shame away with anger and aggression. So when someone is making you feel shameful or they're criticizing you, instead of knowing the wisdom behind this, you just end up being angry at them and just giving, your fullest aggression towards them. And this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong, because this might be a sign that you can know your beast, your shadow. For many men, their shadows or their beasts are seeking validation, relying on porn for coping from pain. Some people, unfortunately, when they are in pain, they don't look for the wisdom of the pain. They just look for how they can, get themselves out of that pain in the first place. Look, when you're in pain, that's a sign that you need to improve something. That's a sign. That's something that you should be aware of, not something that you should look how to cope. That's why, doctors always suggest that you should get away from smoking or vaping or anything, even porn, anything that makes your mind not focus on your purpose, not focus on your goals, but focus on coping. And this is exactly what you need to know so you can improve. Is just knowing the things that makes you feel coping and just get them away of your life. You face the absolute truth, and the absolute truth of yourself, you are purposely or unpurposely pushing them away. So there are some questions that I need you to ask yourself so you can identify the beast inside you or the shadow inside you. So you can discover your beast or your shadow. There is something I need you to do. Bring a paper, or even if you have a phone, get your notepad in your phone and do the following. What you're gonna do is that you're going to identify your own personality. You're going to write down your own personality, the good things about you. And don't you ever say, I don't know. Because if you said, I don't know, that you're not willing to invest your time so you can improve, you're not willing to improve. So don't waste your time and continue the video. But if you're willing to improve, continue the video and describe the good things you like about yourself, your personalities. You don't need much, complicated stuff. Like, for example, you're gonna say the good things about you. You're kind, you're loving, you're ambitious, you're disciplined, you wanna improve. You care for the people who are in love with you. Those are good traits that you have. And you need to also identify the bad things within you. Like, for example, let's say hypothetically you think that being an empathic is a bad thing. So empathic, vulnerability, sensitive, emotional, lazy. Those are things that you might write down when it comes to things that you don't like about you. Once you have those, you have the good traits of you and the bad traits of you. There are some questions that are going, trust me, those questions are going to bring up the beast and the shadow that you've been pushing away your entire life. Those questions like, what I least want others to know about me. This is your time to answer. Take as much time as you want when it comes to, answering those questions, because the more time you take on answering those questions, the more you get to discover the beast within you or the shadow, and you make them very visible so you can finally improve them. It's better off to improve a truth than to improve a lie, because when you improve a lie, it's built on lies, so you can never trust it. But if you're building something on truth, you can trust it, and you can know exactly, the pain points within it, and then you can improve it, the bad things about it, and then you can improve it. Second question is also, what are emotions I consider to be negative? Third question, the emotions I am least comfortable expressing. And finally, what I'm most scared of or hesitant to openly express in a relationship, if you were one, or if you were to be in one. Like, if you were in a relationship, what is a feeling or an emotion that you're uncomfortable sharing it, openly sharing it? And if, like, basically, let's say if you were in a relationship, a feeling that's gonna make you uncomfortable sharing. If you were single, you have that mindset. But if you have a partner, ask yourself that question. This will help you know the beast within you. Once you know that shadow and you acknowledge, wow, I'm actually sensitive, I'm actually emotional, I'm actually not that kind, I'm actually kind of selfish, that's when you can improve. Like, for example, if you never acknowledged that you are vulnerable or emotional, you will never know the issue. Like, for example, some people's issue is that they lie a lot. If they ask themselves and they discover that they lie a lot, and they're like, wow, I actually lie a lot because this gives me a lot of validation. Some people believe the lies that I'm saying, so those lies brings me a lot of validation, brings me a lot of approval from people. So that's like a good sign for me, or like a dopamine sign for me, so I can survive. But that's wrong. I should always say the truth. And once you keep saying the truth over and over again, you improve and you become a truthful person. You see, you identified the issue. You identified that you lie. And you actually improved by firstly acknowledging that you do it. So you have to get out, you have to know what's bad within you. You have to know it. Because if you're sick, you need medicine. You can't lie to yourself that you are not sick and you are perfect. No, there is something wrong within you, and you have to ask yourself, how can you change it? How can you, improve yourself? But there are something that I need you to know. It is never a negative thing to be vulnerable. It is never a negative thing to be an empathic person, because those are things that relate to having a big heart. Anything that relates to emotions, expressing emotions, those are stuff that are in people with big hearts, like me and you. The things that you should change, like, for example, you choose comfort over pain. This is something you need to change. You lie a lot. This is something you need to change. You like video games. This is something you need to change. Once you know those pain points, you would want to improve it. You can't go to a doctor and you tell them, yeah, I'm perfect. No, you go to a doctor because you have something wrong within you. With that being said, remember that no one will save you but yourself.